Good morning. I'll film one of these in the afternoon. That'll throw you guys off, won't it? All right. Oh, we're here on the Shan rock drop. All right. Bit of self-indulgence today. I'm going to do Hong Kong Trails, the rock drop, and today I'm going to show you guys how to do the Shan rock drop. There he is. Okay, I notice a lot of people, they always say to me, Chewy, I've stacked it off the rock drop, or I've looked at it 1,000 times, but I haven't done it yet. So I'm going to run through a few things today that's going to help you guys send it off this bad boy here. All right, let's check it out. Rightio, so where we are, we're right near the bus stop on Shan where you get out of the van, and we're going to check out the run into the rock drop first. Okay, so here it is. This is the run in. Now, take you guys off it first. It's quite rooty, quite slippery, so you want to pick your speed as you go off it. And I'm just going to stop here for a second so you can see. If you look at the pointy part of this rock here, I'll tilt him down a little bit. Check out the pointy part. You want to be sending it straight off the middle of this point, okay? Because I see a lot of people, they try and go off to the left here, okay? That doesn't count. If you go off to the left, it's actually a bit more dangerous because you've got this slippery sideways route, you've got a mossy covered rock down the side there, which can get you a bit wild, okay? And then if you look further down, you've got trees, okay? You don't want to be hitting those. So if you go straight off the middle here, okay, you're going to be going nice and straight for the bumpy roots down the bottom, okay? Because you need to be able to haul up. You've got to put your brakes on after you get past these roots, pretty sharpish. So you don't want to be going zigzaggy, especially if it's wet off here. You want to be in a nice straight line as you go off the rock. So once again, straight off the middle of this rock here, okay, off the point. You'll see it as you roll in as a point, and it's going to point you in a nice straight line to hit the rock drop in the end. Okay, so if you've been eyeing this rock drop off for a while, you need to be confident on riding a bike first, okay? You need to be on a big travel bike, probably a DH bike for this one, a big Enduro, okay, if you're a good rider, and you need to know how to do a drop first, okay? So when you do a drop, it's the same. It doesn't matter how big the drop is, the technique is the same. So you want to be able to practice, say, going off a curb, like a roadside curb or a gutter. And the technique you want to be using is, you want to be able to go off the curb and let your front wheel touch at the same time as your back wheel. Okay, so when you drop, both wheels are going to touch the ground at the same time. Because if your front wheel drops down off a larger drop, you're going to go out the front door, you're going to have a bad day. Also, if you're pulling back too hard because you're not confident, and you're landing on your back wheel or back wheel heavy, you're going to blow out the front when you land. And that's not going to be pretty either, because your front wheel is going to be bouncing and not stable on the ground. So when you're landing off a big rock drop like this, you want to be landing with both wheels at the same time. If you're on a hardtail or something like that and you're used to taking drops, you're probably used to landing back wheel first. But with these big suspension bikes on a down slope where you're landing, both wheels at the same time is always going to be the best. Okay, so straight off the middle, and you're going to be landing in a nice straight line with both wheels at the same time. Okay, that's what you're going to be trying to do. So we'll go down and take a look at the landing. Right, so here's the landing of the rock drop. Okay, you're going to come straight off the middle there. So where you land, if you're just going normal pace, running pace, jogging pace is about right, you're going to be landing about, it's about a 7 or 8 foot drop. Okay, so it's not a huge drop, and you've got a nice down slope, but the thing that puts most people off doing this rock drop is obviously going to be the landing. It's quite rooty. Well, check it out, we'll back up here so you guys can see the landing all the way down. Okay, it's quite rooty and rocky, and it's got lots of loose leaves. So if you're landing a little bit skew whiff or sideways or a bit nose heavy, then it's a little bit difficult to keep control or regain control as you're coming down through this little section. It's best to be in a nice straight line. Okay, I do a little bit of comfort braking through here, through the roots. Okay, and if you can sort of see, it's quite bumpy and gnarly here. But as we come down here a bit further, I'll tilt the camera down so you guys can see, there's a nice braking area here just before this little drop here. So this is the spot that you want to be washing off most of your speed, just on this flat section here, and the run in where it's a bit smoother. Really pull on the brakes as hard as you can and get as much speed off in this section. If you're trying to brake down through this rooty bit, okay, it's a bit dangerous, especially if it's wet, because if you lock a front brake coming down through here because you're on the brakes too much in the roots, then you're going to have a bad day because you're going to wash out the front. Okay, and then you've got a little tricky bit here. You're going to need to do this little drop down here and then get on the brakes a bit more to make it round this right hand corner. Okay, that's where we're going to stop today, just before this right hand corner, hopefully. So I'm going to do this from a couple of different angles so you guys can see. Now I'm on the Enduro bike today. I'm not going to go full speed off it. I'm just going to try and finesse it a little bit for you guys so you can kind of see the technique. When you're landing, you kind of want to be extending your arms and legs out and giving yourself as much sort of arm and leg suspension as you can for when you suck up the landing. So let's take a look at this one from a couple of different angles. Get the boys to follow me off with the camera, and then we'll film it from the side so you can kind of see where to land and how far the drop is. Now it should look pretty mellow if I do it right. If I do it wrong, you guys will get some good entertainment. Phew. Alright, so now you've seen it a couple of times. I'll take you guys off it in real time. So just before you set off, it might sound obvious. Here, let me tip this camera down a little bit. Yeah, might sound obvious, but make sure you're in a good gear. So that's kind of where I am for the rock drop. I mean, there's no pedaling involved in it, but make sure you're not up here in the granny ring, because you know, if you're doing drops up in this ring, you can probably damage your bike pretty bad. So, and also if you need to get a couple of pedal strokes in, you know, you're in a good gear. So if you're up here and you try and do a pedal stroke, it's going to be useless. So make sure you're down in a nice gear, a gear that's easy to pedal. And the speed you should be going off it is probably about like a jogging pace, I'd say. Not too slow. If you go any sort of slower, like a walking pace, it's going to be hard to keep the front wheel up in the air until your back wheel comes off the edge of the rock. So, you know, a gentle jogging pace is about right. I'd pretty much just give a little pedal stroke just here and then just roll for the rest of it. If you go too fast, then it's gonna be hard to haul up at the bottom. So let's check it out in real time. We'll take you guys straight off it. Make sure you're clipped in or got your feet properly on the pedals, and we're just going to roll straight in. Remember where you should be looking, because it's a blind drop. Spot your takeoff. So you're going to be looking down at the pointy part of that rock, and then you'll line up those two trees, and you want to be somewhere in between those two trees at the landing. Let's check it out. Woo! That's it, straight up the middle. Woo! Nice. Nice. Phew. So that was the Shan rock drop, guys. I hope you found this video a bit of a help. So if you guys want to try that one, maybe try it on a dry day before you have a first go at it. Maybe don't hit this one on the wet first day. And remember, practice going off curbs first. Make sure you guys can do a drop first, and probably hit this one on a big bike if you guys are going to do it. Hope you guys enjoy the video, and don't forget, if you guys want any mountain bike lessons or private coaching and stuff, give me a call, man. Phew.